some air guns, a lot of air guns, to dispel a lot of the myths about coronavirus. I think we should be ready for this disease, but I hate to see any of our viewers chasing the wrong things in an effort to deal. So let's go down to the target area, and you'll see the first round of myths that we're going to destroy. This is our first round of targets. Corona beer. Believe it or not, a lot of people think coronavirus came from Corona beer. We want to dispel that one. To the left, you're going to see garlic. Some people are putting their faith into garlic, of all things. And over here to the right, there are people who are waiting for that magical vaccine to be invented and come on the scene. We'll talk about it. You won't believe this, but a lot of people believe that vodka is one of the solutions, and this can of Lysol on the right. They've all been cleaned off of the grocery shelves, and we have them as targets today. I would be remiss if I didn't start off by telling you something about the future. This coming spring and summer, we've got some phenomenal videos coming, which are represented on this tabletop, and you might want to catch them. For example, our GoPro drone here is going to be taking some Ziploc bags of flour past me as I shoot those bags of flour and cause a lot of smoke with the turbulence of the blades. We actually have one of those filmed in our intro, but we're going to devote a whole program to it because you asked for it. The second thing is this speedboat. This thing is fast. It shoots up a rooster tail, and it's going to drag a barge behind it with targets. And I'm going to pop those targets as it goes by. Hollowhead is always a part of our programs. As you can see, he's ready for coronavirus.
Hey, Dr. Russ, you forgot something.
Oh,
the
yeah,
gloves and
the gloves. How could I forget these?
Safety first.
Coronavirus, we're going to have to be ready. And our chief remote operator, Hollowhead, he'll be ready. Our first myth that we want to blow away today is that coronavirus comes from Corona beer. Trust me when I tell you that viruses don't come out of an alcohol. Alcohol kills viruses. So let's take out our first myth. That's one myth out of the way. Our second myth today is about vodka, of all things. You see, the hand wipes and hand sanitizers have been wiped off the shelf, and they have alcohol in them, and so people are making their own hand sanitizer from alcohol. That's okay as long as you know one thing. Vodka is only 40% alcohol. Hand sanitizers are 60. So I'd rather use just a regular bottle of rubbing alcohol before I would use vodka. That might actually save you a few dollars. Let's get rid of the second myth. That gets rid of myth number 2. Our third myth that we want to dispel is that of a can of Lysol spray. It's another item that has just been cleaned off of the grocery shelves. Now, Lysol spray is actually a very good thing, but let's make sure there's no misrepresentation. You see, on the can itself, it actually says it gets rid of coronavirus. But that's not this coronavirus. Coronavirus is available in about a dozen different strains, often linked with something with pneumonia. It originally, I think, came off of American cows. But this new one that came out of China, that's called COVID-19. That's one we need to worry about. And until Lysol can put that on their cans, we got to be careful. Another myth dispelled. Our fourth myth about the coronavirus is that if we take hot showers or hot baths, that kills it. I wish it was so easy. The only way a hot bath would kill coronavirus is if it was so hot it would kill you and me too. So we need to put that one out. I mean, we should all take good hot baths and showers and stay clean, but it doesn't kill the virus. And so our next shot is to hit this beer bottle in this very hot water. And even more important than that is to miss this, because I have to tell you, Dr. Paula, she'll be really ticked if she loses one of her cups from her Tupperware collection. Actually, when it comes to hot showers and baths, it probably would help you take a cold bath or cold shower more than hot, because what they're really worried about in coronavirus is that you have a fever. And one of the best ways to break that fever is a cold shower, a rub down with alcohol that evaporates off your body. We want to get temperatures down, not up. So let's destroy that myth. I think my wife's Tupperware is just fine. Our next myth that we want to dispel is that we can catch coronavirus from our pets. And that's just not quite true. Let me show you. Hollowhead, who put that target down there? Was it you, Hollowhead? Angel, come. I have a feeling that I know. Angel, come. Sit. I have a feeling I know who put Angel down there. And the fact is, I should be worried about Hollowhead every time we get bird flu epidemics going on in America. Bird flu. What we really need to be concerned about is not our pets giving us these diseases, but we giving our pets diseases. After all, they're indoors, they're at home. It's we who goes out in the public and brings disease back with us if we don't wash our hands, etc. Let's take care of another myth, a Corona bottle that I wrote the word pets on. Another myth is that one way to stop coronavirus is to stop kissing, hugging, holding, and that might slow down the spread of the virus. It might also spread up divorce and separation of families. And so I've got them represented by a whole string of beer bottles. Finish that one off. kissing and stop kissing is not the answer to this coronavirus. Our next myth is that by eating garlic, no, not you, Angel, that if people eat garlic or wear it around their neck, that'll protect them from coronavirus. Not true. Well, it actually might be true, because if you actually do that much with garlic, your friends, wife, and family will probably stay away from you. And that could keep the disease away from you. Let's dispel the myth, though, that there's something in the garlic that could help you. Dispels another one. The next myth that we want to dispel is that a vaccine is just around the corner. I wish it were true, but it's not true. You won't believe this, but it takes 10 to 15 years for new medications to be tested, retested, different groups, and finally approved for some manufacturer to actually manufacture it. It can be way out there. What's promising is that on a couple of really bad diseases, everybody sped the process up, and we were able to get a vaccine out in 18 months. But I have to tell you, manufacturers are very afraid that they could put something out there that's not truly been tested, and in the end, get sued for it. We've got another Corona bottle, and it has a needle and a vaccine on it. Let's dispel this myth. Another myth is that these test kits, which are very, very important, they determine if you've actually got the virus or not. And that the myth is that they cost $3,000 a piece. No, they're actually free, which will be represented by our next Corona beer target. They're free. Let me share the bad news. They can't make enough of them. And so they're very, very careful about putting them out. And you've got to have that fever. You've got to have quite a few of the symptoms, or you won't be tested. Let's shoot this next. So let's put to bed that myth that test kits cost $3,000 a piece. Another myth destroyed. Our last myth that we want to destroy today is that beards, long hair, mustaches are places for the coronavirus disease to collect and become a problem. So we're going to shoot this Corona beer specially marked for a reason. First of all, you may not know it, but the real problem is not a beard, it's not a mustache. The real problem is that 80 to 90 times a day, all of us reach up and touch our face, one way or the other, and we have germs on our fingers, and we're bringing that up. So the one way that this mask is helping Hollowhead is it protects him every time he wants to put his fingers or hands up, or feathers up by his face. So let's remember, it's not facial hair, it's those 80 to 90 times we touch our faces during the day. That has to end, and we need to be washing our hands throughout the day. Let's get rid of this last myth. Angel, you didn't really think we were going to shoot you, did you? You didn't think that. I know. Give me a kiss. Oh, yeah, I know. Shake, shake. Yes, you're a very good girl. I'll tell you what, Angel, I'd have a big chicken dinner before we would ever shoot you. That's for sure. So let's make sure we remember the important things that we should do, the things that are not myths. We should put a mask on those who have the disease, not on yourself, unless you'd like to help stop yourself from touching your face with your hands. Another thing is that they've cleaned the shelves with toilet paper. And hey, we all need toilet paper. But I have to tell you, toilet paper is for things like stomach flu, where we have an intestinal problem. That's not coronavirus. That's a upper respiratory problem. This is where a combination of pneumonia, you can drown in your own liquids. That's the real danger with coronavirus. Third, Lysol. Don't just spray it and then wipe it. It can take 4 hours for Lysol to kill all the germs on a countertop, a handle on a door. So just spray it and leave it. It'll evaporate. It's got alcohol in it. Wash your hands several times a day and constantly check yourself for any sort of temperature or fever. And if you do have a fever, we need to get you to a doctor, an urgent care, or a hospital. One last tip. Make sure you keep your air rifle handy. I understand they're closing up the restaurants and grocery stores. We may need these to go on a hunt together.